Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Asaph Cafe. We are outside in front of the Missoula Community Access Television studio known as MCAT, M-C-A-T, and this is also Season 9, Episode 1, so this will be very special. I don't have my candelabra today, so this musical symbol and Superman will be sitting in with us. And our guest for the first season of Episode 9 is Mr. Christian
Ackerman.
I'm sorry, Ackerman.
That's okay.
Fix that chair there on your...
There?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There, I'll make it so I don't see. All right, so I can see everybody out there.
Yeah. So we're doing an outdoor version of Asaph Cafe. I think this is the first time we ever did an outdoor version. Is that going to show up on the camera?
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
5-minute water.
Well,
Pepsi.
Let's play a tune here. I'll start with my familiar Burt Bacharach piece, and this time I'll do it on the medium instead of the soft. I wonder if this is going to pick up.
Probably turn it a little louder. You better be okay.
Let's do it again. You can come on in if you want. It's just impromptu.
He's a piano player too.
Cool.
Yeah. They can't see who we're pointing at.
You can test the sound a little bit. I've done this song hundreds of times.
Yeah. So because they can't see anything, I could be like pointing at people that aren't there.
So it's a cool song.
It is. Oh, I'm gonna land
And the conclusion. I don't know how that's going to sound, but we'll find out.
We'll find out, I know. We're outside.
Yeah, we're outside.
And Missoula is behind us, and maybe at one time during the show I'll turn it around so you can see.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And you can just show,
I can show
the
people
outside.
what's going on, where we're at, and why we're pointing at people while they walk by.
Yeah, but right now we're in front of the MCAT studio. You can see the cat sign over there.
The lamp's kind of covering the...
Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that. Yeah,
go.
why don't you just leave that lamp on the chair?
I can put it right there. Here, I'll do that so it doesn't fall.
Yeah, that looked like a person there.
There, and you can still see these.
I'm going to do a piece of a prelude here. You will recognize it.
Wearing the MCAT on my head.
You ever heard this song?
Yes.
This is called the Prelude in E minor.
Yes, I heard. This is great. I love classical music because it helps you relax and flow too with thinking.
This is such a cool song. It sounds like something about a 1940s movie.
It does. Right when you said that, this could totally be played in Grid Street, the movie I'm working on right now, the series I'm working on.
We talked about that in a moment, yeah.
Yeah.
I I like to speed that part up there, make it intense. You know.
Sounds really. I like that. How you did that. A little more, yeah, emotional.
Yeah. And then the conclusion. There you go.
Love that.
That is called the Prelude in E minor by Chopin. Prelude in E minor. They use it in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, just an old movie theme.
Yeah, it does.
So I hear congratulations are in order. You just started a new job.
I did, yeah.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a media instructor or a media teacher. They're calling me a teacher, and I'm gonna be working with the Corvallis High School, teaching Media 1 and 2 and 3, and we're calling it Corvallis Creative Media. That's the name I came up with. He's like, the principal there, Jason Wirt, was like, you can call it whatever you want, and I came up with that name, and I'm calling it that. So even if later down the line, which I don't plan to, but later down the line, if I leave or whatever, I'm not taking the name with me. It stays with them. That's why we put Corvallis Creative Media. We put Corvallis.
So you're like an instructor?
I am a teacher, yeah, because I'm actually certified by the state of Montana to teach classes.
And you'll be
certified.
teaching film and video?
Yeah,
pretty much like what you do here at MCAT?
Pretty much, yeah, like MCAT, like media, anything media, basically. So.
Okay, and also, are these like grade school children? Or
no, this is all high school. This is 9th grade up to 12th grade.
Oh,
I'll be
cool.
teaching that, so in the media 1, 2, and 3.
Well, how long have you been working with MCAT before you led up to your new job?
I've been here for 16 years now, going on 16.
Well, congratulations on your congratulations on your new job. That sounds
thank
cool.
you. Yeah.
And you'll still be working here too.
Yeah, I'll be part-time. The school is like block schedule, so I'll be here every other day, and the days won't be consistent, so it'll be every other day, probably like a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, and then it'll reverse flop. And I'll be here maybe 2 days out of the week, and then maybe only 3 days out of the week. Like I am now, I'm only here 3 days out of the week. So it'll flip-flop every once in a while, every week. So,
well, I'm glad you're doing this with me today.
So we'll see. Big things are happening.
You know the song?
It sounds familiar. Oh, there. Okay, keep playing it. Yes.
Cat in the Cradle.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Harry Chapin. He's the singer that made it famous.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the words, but I know it when I hear it. It's like one of those songs everybody sings wrong to.
Okay. This is a pretty cool song.
I love this song.
And I'll take it up.
I like the theme because it's like spend your time wisely with your family. What's more important in the end?
Yeah.
I love that.
There you go.
Oh, that was awesome.
That is a song called Cat in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. He's the one that made that song famous about 40 years ago, I think.
That and Miss American Pie.
I'll do that for you.
That's
I'll
a
do
great
my
time. Those are
version
the
of
two like epic songs.
All right, I'll do that for you.
Okay. That's awesome.
I'm going to stop right there.
That's great. That was awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very humbled and very blessed to be able to do these tunes.
Awesome.
So let's talk more about your new job.
Yeah.
You have a date set? Did you already start the job?
Well, I'm hired already.
You're already hired
I'm
by
on the faculty now. I'm set, and I start. They said in August. I forgot the date right now. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to check that.
Okay.
Actually, tonight, we're going to start putting everything in motion and planning when I'm actually going to be there. But I think I actually technically start end of August.
cool.
And then my first day of class with the kids, though, when kids in the school, is is the first Wednesday of September. Actually.
And okay, so it's just like a normal school year. You'd be whatever it was, 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And let's see, let me think.
And so I'll be teaching all 3 of those classes. And part-time, though,
it's 3 classes a day, right?
Yeah, three classes a day. Or actually, it might, because of the block schedule, it might be like 2 classes this day.
Okay.
And then 1 class this day. It might, but I'm thinking, yes, 3 classes a day.
You know who you remind me of? Did you see that movie To Sir with Love with Sidney Poitier?
Oh, I gotta see that. No, but I know who you're talking about.
The 1960s version. Yeah, that he was like this new school teacher. In this like inner city in Europe. I think it was in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're not in Europe, but that's good. That's pretty cool.
I know.
I don't think you'll have any.
I gotta watch that now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it. It's called To Serve with Love.
Oh, sweet.
See how well he wasn't accepted by the students at first.
Right.
But he understood the inner city street life.
Right.
And when the kids started accepting him, then the teachers were rejecting him at first.
Is that like,
the kids defended him, and he had a happy ending at the.
Is that the line? They call me Mr. Tibbs? Or
no,
Tibbs?
that was another movie.
Sorry, guys.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Help me out. I'm a film teacher. I need to know these other old films. Like, there's so many films.
The name of the movie was called Heat of the Night.
That's it. That's right.
And that movie started the television series with Carol O'Connor.
Right.
The actor that played
Who's
Archie
from here,
Bunker.
actually. He used to do a few video things for MCAT.
Yeah, I saw his portrait, his marquee, or whatever you want to call it, over at the university, the Fine Arts Building.
We still have some of his old PSAs.
And what's his name? R.K. Simmons, I think, is also from. He's the actor that played Mr. Jameson on the Spider-Man movies, and now he's on The Closer.
Right.
With Kira Sedgwick, so he's pretty cool. But getting back to the Heat of the Night, Sidney Poitier was this inspector. He was like he was more skilled than the police department in the South.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he was sent from New York to the South to solve a murder, but the police department and the citizens couldn't get past the color of his skin.
Right.
But the wife, whose husband was murdered, was telling them, get over it. She said, look, my husband was killed, this man's from New York, and he's better than you guys are, he can solve this, let him solve it.
That's awesome.
So she kind of defended Poitier's character, and then he went on to solve that murder.
I want to watch that. I should
He solved it, and he helped the police department improve.
That's awesome.
But they had to get past the racial barrier.
I love it.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to have a problem like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not here in Missoula, but...
we have no ideas.
Yeah, Heat of the Night is that one, and then the other one, To Sir with Love. That's the school teacher. It had a theme that went something like this, and you might know it.
Okay.
You might recognize it.
Yeah, I do recognize it.
That's the theme.
Yeah, I do recognize
it. And here's the middle part. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's awesome.
That's the theme, yeah. To Sir with Love, thank you. Yeah, that's the theme to it, so.
Awesome.
Now, I hope you get to see that. And there's one other movie, if you ever get some time, I suggest you see. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
That was the name of the film.
Me! No, I'm just kidding.
Well, see, in the 60s, you know, they had, I don't want to get all political, but
Right.
they had a lot of racial tensions between people of color.
Oh, yeah.
In the 60s, and I grew up in that, as you know.
Yeah.
So Sidney Poitier made a series of films on that, and this one that was called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, he was like the surgeon, this prominent surgeon, his character. And he was engaged to this white lady.
Oh, right.
And so she was taking her fiance to her parents. Guess who's coming to dinner?
That's it. And they're like shocked by the whole difference.
It was shocked, but it was a bigger shock when he took her to his parents.
Oh, right.
You know, in the
I like how
hood,
they
the
show
African
both.
American.
Yeah,
They show both sides.
That's great when they show both sides.
And it was harder for the African American version
Yes.
because, you know, the father was like going off on the son.
Oh, that's
I didn't
awesome.
raise you to disrespect our family.
I know. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
during
the
that time,
two versions.
1960s. Yeah,
And
that's
I
awesome.
can relate to that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, when I was married, I would do the same thing. But
Right.
when the ex-wife wife at the time brought me home.
Uh,
So the moral of the story is, if you're having an interracial relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. But
No.
you just gotta get a rhinoceros hide
right.
with the opinions of family.
You gotta not
people.
care what people think.
That's it. You don't care what people think. You're gonna be
People are
fine.
always going to be judging and staring and pointing, no matter
Well, yeah.
what.
Even if you
wear different clothes.
yeah, you can be the same nationality. There'll always be something. You know, someone's Catholic
yeah.
and someone's Lutheran.
That's
They're
not
gonna
what
fight
we don't
over
do that. We don't do that. Well, why don't we do that? You know, that kind of stuff. And then you start asking those questions.
Now, there's something I forgot to do. Let me take a quick moment of silence. Thanks, Lord, for the show.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah.
That's in
Amen.
the short. Anyway, getting back to what we're talking about. Yeah, it's just amazing how people get so hung up
Yeah,
over racial issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all the same.
we are. We're all human.
Just have different pigmentation. So big deal
Big
if
deal.
you're, you know,
Yeah.
date someone. Of course,
Yeah.
you're married, so we're not
I'm
gonna talk
married.
about
I
you
got.
personally.
Yeah, she got me. She
But
got me.
no, but I mean that's just the way it is. So
Yeah,
I
it is,
hope you
yeah.
get to see those 3 movies, especially
I do wanna watch
since
them.
you're
Yeah.
going to be a new teacher.
I do want to watch Lean on Me too. That
Yeah, but that's with
80s
Morgan
kid.
Freeman.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Morgan
more
Freeman.
high
That-
tech.
Yeah, I like
They
that.
call me Batman.
I liked it.
Yeah, he had this
Morgan
big old.
Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was giving a speech with this bat.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
I'm gonna clobber
I
somebody.
like it like when you just walked in there and just started taking charge, discipline and
And of course,
respect.
when Sidney Cortez version some 20 years earlier,
Yeah.
it wasn't quite as special effects, I think, as
Yeah.
the Morgan Freeman one, but it had pretty much the same message. So.
Yeah.
So I want to congratulate you on your
thank
job.
you.
That's pretty cool.
See, the kids, depending on what is okay and what can be seen, and with permission slips and stuff like that, depending on the age too
Yeah.
of the group, we'll be watching films too in the classroom because you got to watch films to be able to make films, and sometimes we'll be
Yeah.
showing some really films that made an impact during that time.
Well, you know, in the 60s, the Sidney Poitier films did make an impact, but
Yeah.
that was, 40, 50 years ago, so
Yeah.
some of those might be relevant if you think you can use them. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out. It's a
Yeah.
brand new, as they say to me at Corvallis.
Oh, my.
It's a clean slate. You're starting
Yeah.
brand new. So I like pioneering. Because it's been about 6 or 10 years now. No,
Well,
6 years since it's been there.
My advice would be to look at the films first, especially To Serve with Love, and see if you can use it, because that was set in England.
Okay.
So it has that English flavor, but
Uh-huh.
there might be some points that you could use.
England? That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, African American teacher in the white neighborhood of England.
Wow, that's a cool idea. I like that. And
But
the 60s.
they called me Mr. Tibbs. That was the heat of the night when he was the.
They call me
Lieutenant.
Mr. Tibbs.
Yeah, because see, the
always
police
see that.
department. He went off on the police chief.
Okay.
The police chief. The actor's name was Roy Stagger, I think was his
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
And he was the original police chief before Carol O'Connor took the television role.
Okay.
And it was like they weren't respected. It was like, what do they call you up there in New York, boy?
I know, right?
They
Just-
call me Mr. Tibbs, and then it just got.
I love when he says that. They still use that little clip in anything, like when they're doing a montage of movies, of
Right,
great movies.
right.
And still, when I just see that little clip, he just captures me. I'm like, yes, that's awesome, great performance.
But when they saw that he was able to solve crimes different than them, because at first they had a view of what they thought was happening, they were totally way off.
Right.
And Tibbs' character figured out who the good guys were, who the conspiracy part, and who the bad guys were, and it was all in the police department too.
That's
He
awesome.
solved all that, and then the police chief started taking him really serious.
That's awesome.
Said, we better listen to this man and stop looking at color. Pay
Yeah,
attention to what
exactly,
he's doing. That's
yeah.
what they were saying, you know. And then he went on to do some great things in the movie.
That's awesome. It's a great metaphor or simile saying look past the color.
Yeah, that's it. Look past the color, and we'll be fine. I sure hope this is picking up because I'm
Me
enjoying
too.
this conversation
Yes.
here. So,
Yes.
Well,
Yo,
they picked
Asaph.
up when we were at home.
Well, we're talking about movies.
Yeah.
You collect VHSs, I collect
Yes, I do.
VHSs. I just saw in my collection, because I buy a few things here. I found a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea
I remember that.
VHS. Unopened, still in its package. Unopened. It still
for
has
you,
the
yeah.
shit. Yeah, so I can't wait. I'm afraid to open it right now.
That's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
unopened, so it probably still has that new smell, you know.
Star Trek.
Oh, there you go. Won't let go when no one has gone before. That's the Next Generation. But then the 60s show.
Yeah.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
There it is.
Spock, tell me, Asaph, what are we doing here outside in Missoula Zoo Town doing this show?
Well, see.
There's something on the wing.
Yeah,
or on
that's,
the ramp.
that's his William Shatner impersonation.
Yeah, really bad, but yeah.
Yeah. CBS just announced they're doing a new Star Trek.
Yeah, I saw the
television series.
teaser.
It's based on the 1960s
Stoked.
version. Yeah, not the Next Generation, yeah, but the 60s version.
It's like a reset.
Yeah, but it'll be probably way more fancier, so that'll be fun doing.
Well, the teaser looked pretty amazing.
Yeah, because we have the
I was like,
special effects now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. They said it should be out by fall 2017.
Oh, yeah.
This new Star Trek series.
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. And 20 minutes have already gone by. This is going by pretty quickly.
It is, because we're talking about movies.
Yeah,
We're talking
that's
about
right.
movies.
Gentlemen, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
So anyway,
Well, that should
this
work
is cool
out.
doing this. If I have time for a second shot, I might do it this time. But I want to do this first one, season 9, episode 1, right out here in front of the MCAT studio.
Hey.
Christian Ackerman here.
MCAT.org, Christian Ackerman, Fast
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing my shirt, but it's too small letter.
What
Fast
does it
Coast
say? What does it say?
Productions.
Fast? Oh, that's your company, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's
fastcoastproductions.com.
talk about that. What do you do with the Fast Coast Productions there?
I first started this company because my first movie got, how many years has it been? Geez, it's been years. But first movie got picked up from a distributor, and they're like, you need a production company.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one, but it was already taken. The name was. So I had to come up with a new name, and I came up with Fast Coast Productions.
Oh, cool.
And the movie got out, distributed, and we kept the name with all the other pictures that we put out there. And then just recently, we started doing commercial work too. So actually
cool.
doing, besides films, doing commercials. So yeah, Fast Coast Productions. Check us out. .com.
Good.
Yeah, so that's what we do. And we're working on a series called Grid Street. It's a 3-part series. And when you're playing that old 1940s, like the E minor, right?
The prelude.
It made me think of that. And right now, we stopped shooting, but I'm editing it right now.
Well, if you need a pianist for your
Yeah.
soundtracks, I'll be happy to do
Well,
it.
we haven't done sound, music, or anything, so yes, I'll be
Yeah,
asking
because
you.
I can throw in some of
Maybe we
those
can put you in the
classical
movie
pieces.
actually playing too.
Yeah, I
Nice.
did a real movie
Uh-huh.
here in Missoula about 2 years ago. It was for a short.
Oh, sweet.
They actually hired me to be the pianist for this film, and the actress, she was in that movie with Chevy Chase,
Oh yeah.
something Nicholson, the blonde-haired lady. She was in Fletch, I believe, and she was also,
Trying to think of all.
yeah, I can't think of her name. She was Chevy Chase's love interest in the film, if I remember, the blonde-haired lady.
I'm trying to remember her. I'm like,
Her
I
name
love
is,
that movie.
something
Fletch.
Dana Nicholson, something like
Oh,
that.
God,
Real life.
yeah, Dana. Oh, I can't picture her face.
Well,
right
yeah, I know, it's been so
now.
many
I'm
years.
visual.
But she was here in town, and
Uh-huh.
they kept it kind of low key. And they went up to that Patty Canyon. They
Uh-huh.
had this mansion out there that they must have rented.
Oh, sweet.
And they hired me to go in there and play that piano that they had. They had this piano inside this
Oh,
big old
sweet.
house. And she was like singing when I was playing and dancing, kind of.
Oh,
thing.
that's awesome.
And it was entered into some sort of a short. I don't know whatever it became of, but it was a real movie.
We'll have to, maybe I'll
Shot.
do my researching and find it for you.
Yeah, I've got the original still picture of it in my email. I can
Oh,
send
cool.
you.
Yeah, send it.
But I don't know if it's available to be seen. It was
Yeah.
They had a code that time, and I had the code, but last time I checked about a year ago, it didn't go through, so I don't know.
Hopefully it did well at whatever festival, because they normally do a bunch of festivals. Like even I have a movie, Zombies of the Living Dead, and it's going through the festival market.
Well, I
right
think
now.
it was supposed to be in the Sunset Film Festival, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
That's normally where those come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wore a dark suit.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
I saw myself on film playing the piano. They had a beautiful piano. I kept thinking, I wish I could take that piano home.
That's awesome.
That would have been possible.
You guys need this after you're done filming? You know,
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, that piano cost probably more than the apartment I lived in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, those pianos are not cheap. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, those Liberace 9-foot ones are like
Oh.
100,000.
Wow.
And I used to work in a piano shop. Oh gosh, it must have been about 10 or 15 years ago. And I used to do, put the humidifiers under the piano and clean, make sure they're okay.
Right.
This man walked in and bought a 9-foot concert grand, and he pulled out his checkbook,
Oh my
and we all
God.
went. We're all frozen.
I have money to spend, and I'm going.
So he
to
spent
spend it.
100,000 for the piano and 50,000 to pack it up and have
Wow.
it sent to where he was going to have it sent. I think
Oh,
it
he
was
had the
overseas
money.
at the time.
Wow.
So the boss is smiling that day. So he
Oh,
sent me
yeah.
down to Starbucks, and he gave me a lot of money. I went and bought all this real fancy coffee, the real good stuff.
That's awesome.
And so we spent the whole day just chilling and drinking coffee because he made 150,000. So
like
he didn't
one
have,
day.
yeah, just like in that
Wow.
moment.
Yeah.
And that was the owner who happened to be working that day, and then the manager was there too. And I was just doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And
That's awesome. That's great.
I was scratching my head like, man, how can people just
just
he
have
whipped
that
that
money.
out like Monopoly money. He's like, oh, this is no big deal. He pulls his check, and he wrote out the
See
check.
yourself one day. That'll be me one day.
Yeah, that's gonna be you one day,
One day.
and I'm gonna be the piano guy in the
One
background
day.
there. But that's a true story, and I was scratching my head all day,
Yeah.
drinking expensive coffee and scratching my head.
What the heck did I just see?
Yeah, he bought one of those. I think it was a Bosendorfer piano, the
Wow.
kind that Victor Borga used to play at his concerts.
Oh wow.
I believe that was the piano that they had. Either that or a Baldwin, one of the
Oh
two.
wow. Still. Wow.
Yeah, and the Baldwins are the ones that Liberace used to play.
Yeah.
50s.
Did you ever see Liberace play for like a live show at all?
I didn't, but my second mom did.
Oh, cool. Okay.
She and her husband Frank went to see him up at Lake Tahoe because that's like 2 hours distance.
Yeah.
Because my other mom lived near my parents,
Okay.
and of course I was close to my other mom anyway growing up. But
Right.
yeah, they drove up to Lake Tahoe and saw Liberace in concert.
Wow.
She said that was the best concert she ever went to in her life to
Wow.
see this guy playing like that. Just amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about? He was just an amazing pianist.
Yes.
And he was classically trained, but there's no money in classical music to this day. Not really.
Right.
So that's why a lot of the concert players go to the popular music, then they throw in the classics,
Something to
like
bring
when I
it back.
did
Yeah.
that prelude. I won't do the whole thing, but here's a song. I don't know if you'll recognize it. It's called Claire de Lune.
Oh yeah. I do recognize it. Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
It is.
I'm going to stop on that note
That was
there.
great.
But that's the intro to Claire de Lune, and of course, if I were going to play that, I wouldn't want to play it on this. I'd rather have it on a
Right.
real piano where I can get
Big.
the action, get the key action, because these keyboards, I like them, but the action of the keys are stiff.
Yeah.
So when you're playing stuff like that Claire de Lune, it's just too hard to do it.
Right.
But yeah, that's Claire de Lune is the name of that song. Debussy.
Do you ever like go to like a music store and if they have a nice piano, they allow you
Yeah,
to play?
I've gone to Morgenroth and they've
Oh,
given me
great.
permission to play on some of those pianos in there.
I was wondering.
And it's just so fun. I'm gonna play oh gosh. Well, we gotta throw Painted Black. I'll do a piece
You
of
got
that.
to.
Yeah, I gotta do a little piece of the Stones
While
here.
you do that, I'm gonna.
See,
drink
this
a
is
little
why
sip.
I'm saying this is why the concert players do the popular stuff, because that's where all the money is. It pays the bills, you know.
Right, right.
Let me turn up a little bit.
Sure.
I like this song. picks up.
I'm videoing you from this side too.
Okay.
Showing everybody what we're filming.
In the conclusion.
Yeah,
That is my little classical version of Painted Black by the Stones.
That's awesome. I got it on video.
Great.
And we got it on video.
Well, you know, that version, I had to practice a lot of hours to do that.
Right.
Especially that part that goes like this.
Oh, wow.
You know, when I was putting it together at that
Yeah.
speed. Because, let's talk about that for a second. And
Yeah.
you might can relate to that when you're teaching kids. You know, when you're dealing with learning stuff, you
Yeah.
have to do it very slow.
Yes.
And so when I put that arrangement, I was literally going something like this. Something like this, you know.
Yeah.
So that I could see where my fingers went.
Right.
And even at that speed, something like that sounds pretty, you know, at that speed.
Yes.
Something like, and I know it seems kind of dull, but there's a purpose, you know. And I just practiced all that.
Wow.
And then when you get to a certain level where you're competent,
Right.
when you practice, you still have to practice slow.
Right.
So that's just something in case people are watching. If they want to take an instrument, you never practice at normal speed.
Oh, okay.
No matter what you're doing, whether it's a classical piece
Right.
or a rock and roll piece, always practice slow.
Right.
For the rest of your life. And when you get like Liberace, you still practice slow.
Slow and
Very
steady
slow.
pace wins
So that
the
you
race.
can pay attention to where your fingers go and give your brain time to process it.
Yeah.
So that when you're at, and the only time you have to play fast is maybe 5 minutes before showtime.
Yeah.
You don't need to be, you know, when you practice fast, all you're going to do is stumble.
Yeah.
And then another thing is what's going to happen is you're going to get tired.
Oh, right.
So see, if you practice slow, you're not going to get fatigued. You're not
Right,
going to get
right.
mentally fatigued or physically,
Right.
because your body adapts to that speed and you can do it indefinitely.
True that.
So just food for thought.
Yep, yep.
But you know, get it back to your production company.
Yeah. Fast Goes Production.
Fast Coast Productions. And how can they contact you if they want to contact you?
Just go to fastcoastproductions.com or just Google, you know, or in the search engine, Fast Coast Productions, and we'll pop up there. I mean, we got movies out there, so we'll pop up.
All right. Yeah, that's great.
Fastcoastproductions.com.
That is way cool.
Yeah.
That is way
Or just
cool.
Google my name, Christian Ackerman, and then put movies.
Yeah, okay.
You'll find it, yeah.
So what are your future plans now that you got this?
Is just to get this classroom, the class going,
Okay.
and get the curriculum flowing, because we're trying to figure out if it's going to work. It's kind of like a hit or miss. So like, I'm going to do things I know that work,
Okay.
in curriculums that I've used before,
Mhm.
and also with things also here at MCAT, I've always adapt things I've learned with training people. And I'm going to adapt that, and then we'll figure out for that school and how the school, you know, works,
Okay.
and their time, their schedule. That's what we'll do, and we'll see too. It depends on the kids too. So, but yeah, I already have stuff set in place, and hopefully be successful. Hopefully, my goal is at the end of the year, these kids are a film department or a media department. We got sound, we got film, we got art, you know. I want them to all work together, and I think that's what's going to be awesome. And I think we can do it. I've seen miracles happen. Yes, Superman!
It just came in mind. No, I didn't like the way I did it. Let me do that
Like
again.
that, right? Alright, let's look at that sometime.
Something like this.
love the big title sequence. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry.
Isn't that cool?
I love it. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman.
So it didn't take too long to play it all the way through.
My
But
friend interviewed who we need to get on the show, Tim from Saturday Morning Rewind podcast, interviewed the
Okay.
Lois Lane from the original television series, the black and white television series. And
well,
he
you know,
actually-
she started in 1948.
Oh wow.
There was another Superman series before the one that everybody remembers. I don't know if you knew that or not.
You mean the old original serial ones?
Yeah,
I think I know what you're
there was a
talking about.
1948
Like the old Batman
serial.
ones where
yeah.
he just drove a regular car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Alan Kirk was his name, the actor that played
Oh,
Superman.
okay.
And they didn't have the technology then
Right.
for him to fly.
He would
so
just
it
like
was
jump
always-
into the window.
He jumped,
Yeah.
and then there was a cartoon that they showed.
Right, yeah. Those cartoons
It was a
in the
cartoon.
40s were amazing.
Yeah, and then when the cartoon would land, and it turned back into a person.
Yeah.
That's how they did the original 1948 serial. And then a few years later, in the 50s, they did the George Reeves version.
Yes.
And they had more technology at that time.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the history. And Noelle Neal was her name. The
Right,
actress. She
yeah.
played Lois Lane in the
She
original.
just recently passed away.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah.
And then she did the George Reeves versions too. So they
Yeah.
just lost her about a month ago, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yeah, and he interviewed. That's we'll have to get him on your show so you can talk to him.
Yeah.
Because you guys probably talked to some similar people in the past. So.
Yeah, I'd be happy to have it.
Cheers of Fire?
Yeah.
I do a number when I'm also a professional pantomime artist. I do First Night Missoula for years, and
Yeah, I
I do
heard
a
about
number to this. I do a routine to this. And
Well, if you ever want live piano for some of your pantomime
you might
stuff,
have to
you
do
know,
something.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on the-
because I used to do all that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, because hopefully we'll get the theater. This last one I was in the UC theater, but normally I'm in the MCT theater. So we'll pack that out, like 300 people. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that for you. There's a lot of stuff you can do, you know.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't go that fast, but that's called T for Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always play that. They always play that song.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll be happy to do that for you.
Okay, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I haven't heard back from the Missoula Cultural Council. That's what they do. So.
Yeah, Missoula Cultural Council,
Yeah.
they gave me the grant to do that new Lawrence Welk show.
Oh,
I
sweet.
did that, yeah. So thank you, Missoula Cultural Council.
Thank you, Tom Benson over there.
Yeah, he's the one that
Matt
okayed that.
England over there, yeah.
Yeah, and Mayor John England was
Yes.
kind enough to be part of that Lawrence Welk pilot I did.
I saw him in the way back, and he was in the Nutcracker.
Oh, yeah.
He made an appearance in that. That was funny.
I'm gonna see if I can remember the Arabian song.
Hey, how's it going? Good.
Come on in, you can have a seat. We're just talking.
Lisa.
I'm meeting somebody.
She's meeting somebody. She's not working today.
Oh, okay.
See you, Lisa. Bye. That's Lisa. She's an MCAT. Does the MCAT payroll here. The pay lady. The accountant. I should call her pay lady. She's the accountant. Payroll.
You heard this song?
Yes, I know this song.
It's the Arabian dance.
Right.
And here's the conclusion. Yeah, it's a little short version of that. That's called the Arabian Dance from the Nutcracker Suite. And you know, there's a funny thing about that. And history says Tchaikovsky hated that whole suite.
Really?
Yeah, he thought that was the worst thing he ever wrote.
Really?
That entire Nutcracker Suite, you know, the march and the dance and the Sugar Plum Fair. I'll do a piece of that for you.
Yes, dude.
But history, that's what history says. Because he did like the concerto in A minor for piano and all those other beautiful orchestral works. So he didn't think the Nutcracker Suite was that good, but it turned out to be the most
ironic.
popular. Yeah. I'll do a piece of it because I'm sliding down my chair.
I know, I keep on doing that. We're all at a...
We're all on a slap.
So every time I sit back, I feel like...
Alright, let me do a piece of that for you here. If the chair...
I always wanted to do a pantomime thing to this.
Okay.
Like something simple. Like somebody eating.
Pretty.
That is so pretty, yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a neat song, you know.
So want to do something.
I'm still working on that composition because I want to perfect it, have it ready for the mall this year.
Oh, great.
And there's their middle part that goes something like this. You remember that part?
Yes.
I'm working on that part too, so that's a fun song.
Yeah, I love that.
I'll stop on the
That's awesome, man.
This thing you did cool.
Yeah.
Like that. And here's that middle part. I'm still working the bugs out on that.
No, it sounds great.
Let me try that part again.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop right there because I don't have that perfected, but.
Yes.
But when like I said, when I do that at home, I'm doing it very slow. So that's one of the new things I'm putting into my repertoire.
Yeah.
I want to have that really perfected by Christmas of this year. So when I start playing at the mall, I'll be ready.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So that's the first time I kind of done it at that speed in public, and I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with that now.
Yeah, it's sounding good. Really good.
Thanks. I'll probably do it a little bit slower and try it again.
Okay.
Something like this. I'm sorry. Something about that speed right there.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll have it ready by then.
All right.
I've only been working on that for about 2 months now. So.
Oh wow! Wow, that's pretty good for just 2 months.
Yeah, about 2 months.
That's a pretty complicated piece too. So.
Yeah. Well, I as I stated, I'm usually doing it very slowly, something like this.
Getting that muscle memory in there.
Yeah, and that finger memory.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to Tchaikovsky, yeah, he thought that was the worst thing he ever wrote. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. It's funny.
Yeah, you know, when you take those music history classes and they talk about Tchaikovsky, they always talk about his writing, his music. And he was lucky because he didn't have to work a job.
Oh, wow.
You know, the jobs that they have at that time?
Yeah.
There was this countess, like a zillionaire. She said, I'll tell you what, I'll support you, I'll pay your bills, I'll feed you, you just write music.
That's amazing.
And that's how he got to do that, because a lot of those people in that era, like Mozart, like to starve to death.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they didn't have, I know they didn't have the 9-to-5 system we have today, but they had some system of work then.
Right, exactly.
And
pagan work.
all those guys like Wagner. They were like starving.
Yeah, making music for the
Yeah,
eye.
making music. They listen to
Literally
beautiful
starving
music.
artists.
Yeah. And I think that it's been like that, unless you're really lucky.
Right.
I'm lucky because I'm not married. I don't have children.
Right. Yeah.
There'd be no way I could pursue this living in a small city if I were.
Oh yeah.
Because see, when I was in a big city, I did a lot of concerts.
Oh wow.
I don't do them anymore because I'm not in Los Angeles anymore.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
not in Vegas. So.
Right. No Vegas.
Yeah,
Not
I
that
was
far
playing-
away though. A few hours.
I was in Vegas the first time when I was
Yeah.
24.
Oh
I played with Pat Guidry and the High Rollers at that time.
That's awesome.
And in those days, they didn't pay the musicians. What they did, they paid the band leader. He didn't pay the musician.
Oh really?
So the band leader would make about 10 grand
Yeah.
per performance.
Like
and
you
by
guys
time
get the
he-
rest.
Yeah, by the time he splits it out, it's almost like a normal
Yeah. I get it.
wage, you know,
Wow.
stuff like that.
Wow.
I don't think they do it like that anymore, but that's the way it used to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could go do what's that called? Job. I forget what.
Well, Vegas is so different now. I mean,
Yeah.
they used to have unions, and I don't think
Yeah.
they do that anymore now.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
Probably not. Not with the computer age.
I know in film they still like the movies. They still have unions
I think
to
it's
protect
SAG, right?
people.
Screen
Yeah,
Actors Guild,
they have a
SAG.
bunch of things. Screen Actors Guild.
And,
They have
is
the,
it AFTRA? I think it is.
yeah,
It's called?
and they have and the guild, and it's broken up. And they have actors and all kinds of directors and
Yeah.
everything, just to protect. It's actually in place to protect them, so they make money. So that
Yeah.
stuff doesn't happen. But then too, it goes the other way. It's like a catch-22 too.
Well, yeah, it's like they don't. In the old days when I was coming up, they didn't give you your SAG card till you got your first union job, but couldn't get your first union job till you had a SAG card.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah. So how do you break it, or it depends on who you know.
Yeah, who you know. And
I was
how much
lucky
money
because I
you
knew
have,
somebody
yeah.
that. Okay, Asaph, we'll break you through there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I got that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I used to play with a group when I was 22 called the Dred Scott Review. Come on in. It's all right.
He's not there. He doesn't want to be seen. He's not
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I
I
used
thought
to
you were in the
play-
middle of a taping.
We are in the
Yes,
middle
we
of
are
the
in the
tape.
middle of taping. Come on
This
in.
is a show.
Oh,
So anyway, yeah, when I was 22, I used to be a music director for a group called the Dred Scott Review. They were named for the African American slave in the 18th century.
Oh, sweet.
That's where they got their name.
Yeah.
And they were a group like the Temptations, and I used to arrange their music and play the piano for it and all that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And these guys were like in their 40s and 50s, so I was like the baby of the bunch.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, howdy! I was like the
Hello.
baby of the bunch.
Yeah.
And, but I had the skills that they didn't, so that's why they hired me to
That's awesome.
help them at that time.
That's really cool.
And also, you know, Little Richard's manager was my teacher, so I
Yeah, you said that.
was able to break through that catch-22.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get a
It's who you
SAG
know.
card, yeah, it's probably like that today. I don't know.
I think
been
it still
so many
is like that
years.
today. I think it is. And two,
Uh-huh.
I really believe it is who you know.
Yeah.
Because we see people here, and I won't mention names because I don't know
Oh,
if
I
I can.
understand, yeah.
But there are some people who are making movies or in films, and they're doing really well, and they're just from here, from Missoula, and it's because of who they knew, and because they're talented too. It's
Well,
because
yeah.
one person sees them and goes, "You're talented. I'm going to help you out." You know. So
Well, you know, I have been to.
it's true talent.
You've heard of Capitol Records, right?
Yes.
In Los Angeles.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
the building that looks like a bunch of records on
Oh
top
yeah.
of each other.
Yeah, I'm familiar with. I was just a little over a year now. I was just down
Well, it's
there.
probably changed now, but
Yeah.
we're talking over 30 years ago when I was there, and they gave me a tour.
Actually,
and
not
they
a year,
wouldn't
I was there
even-
a few months ago. Actually.
Yeah.
I forgot.
They won't at that time. That's before the computer age. Now they wouldn't
Right.
even give you a. They wouldn't even put your picture on their wall at that time,
Right.
unless you've sold 1 million records.
Wow.
So they had like the Simon and Garfunkel at that time, and you know those people, the
Yeah.
guys like Diana Ross and all. And,
The big money makers.
yeah, and it was the same thing. They would give unknowns a chance.
Right.
Not even Capitol
I
Records.
can't even imagine the money that goes through that, and then now how it seems that the music industry has kind of caught the wave of
Well,
the
they've changed
media
it now, but with the computer age, and I
Yeah.
think Romeo, you know the rapper Romeo, I
Yeah.
think he was responsible for changing stuff too.
Yes.
They had him on, I think it was the World News or something.
About
When he
coding
did
and
that,
stuff.
when he did that first album when he was like 16,
Yeah.
his family like duplicated like a zillion of them. They put him in a truck and a car.
Right, yeah, that's the way to do it. It's almost like, yeah, it was a
And
reset mode.
it cut the art. What do they call the R&R man or whatever?
Yeah,
There was a name for that for the record companies.
right.
And now we got the computer stuff. You just go on
iTunes,
Spotify.
yeah.
You don't need Capitol Records and all
And
that.
I think they were hurting for a while because I remember there was like a shock, like, oh no, how are we gonna do it? And they just had to change their game plan. And a lot of
they
these
weren't giving
new-
people chances.
Yeah.
So even me, I'm on Bandcamp too with my
Yeah.
Gal
Oh,
CD.
yeah. There you go. Bandcamp. Yeah.
Bandcamp.com. And my CD is called Lean On Me, Jeannie Marie is the name of the CD.
Lean on me, Jeannie Marie, right
It's
there.
a bunch of classical and popular stuff. But my point is, everybody wanted to get their records out because they had good stuff, and the record companies were just having a blind eye, and they were shutting everybody off in the 70s and 80s and stuff. But now
it's different. It's like
Yeah.
it is. It always like whatever
Everybody
goes up
can
must
get
come
out
back
there.
down, then it
That's
climbs back
right.
up, and hopefully when it's going back up, you're on that.
Well, now let's talk about your family real quick.
Yeah.
Because we got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So we've talked about your new job and
Yes.
your production company.
Yes.
You think you'll ever go to California, New York one day, big time?
I'm from California originally, and if it's calling me, if it's meant to be, or as we say, if it's
I
God's
understand
will,
that. Yeah, I
I
understand.
will go
that.
there and do that, and I will pursue it. But right now, just where things are going, right now, this is the way I'm going. And
That's a good.
but we
thing.
do go visit all the time, and we have every year. And I was just down there in March, and
What part of California are you from?
San Diego area, and then my
Oh, I've
brother
been
lives in LA, so I'm always in San Diego or LA visiting.
I've been to the Croce's out there in San Diego.
Okay,
They used
sweet.
to have live music there years ago. Gosh,
Yeah.
bring back memories.
La Jolla, always live music area down there, yeah.
And I liked it when San Diego. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Coronado out there. You got like some, was it Something Like It Hot or something with Marilyn Monroe? That movie was shot out there to make it look like it was
Oh,
Florida.
yeah,
Yeah, with Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon. Yeah, so we go. Yeah, whenever we go visit, I go back to my old stomping grounds, and then my wife, she's from here originally in Stevensville.
Okay.
And so I met the small town girl, and then I was stuck. I was like, not stuck. I mean, I was like happy to be stuck. I was like, yes.
Yeah, good for you.
And plus, love this place, and it's great.
Yeah, that's why I left the big city. I got burned out.
Yeah.
I got tired of going 5 miles an hour on a 5-lane highway on Interstate 5 in California. You probably know that. I used to drive that.
He's talking about, folks, that rush hour, which
Yeah,
is a funny term.
There was like 2 million people in Sacramento alone when I was there.
And it
I
could
was-
come at any time of the day. It's not 5 o'clock anymore. They used to
I
call
know.
it 5 o'clock traffic.
Crowded.
No, it was like there's certain times of the day. It's
Yeah, I
just
drove
rush
on Interstate 5 all the time and Highway 80 in California.
Yeah, I know.
90, I think
Yeah.
it was. No, not 90. It was 80 and
The 405
Interstate 5,
stinks when you're like over the bridge part and you're just like
Uh-huh.
waiting. You're like leaning to one side because you're going over that 405. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
I
so-
do.
Anyway,
101, kind of crazy, Ventura and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it gets kind of nutty out there.
and so about 30 years ago, or a little over 20 years ago, I just was done.
Yeah.
But I knew that coming to a small city, the work would diminish, which
Yeah.
is fine. I just wanted to get out of the big city. So I did.
You did, and that's what
And
we
I'm
do.
here in Missoula, Montana, and I love it.
And see, I had a weird thought too. Talking about that, I still think about this today. I always do. You do ask your question yourself, like when you're talking about that. While we're talking about this last 5 minutes we have,
Yeah, we got about
before,
5 minutes left.
is that you always ask yourself, do I regret I didn't stay or I didn't do LA? And I remember at the time though, when I was really thinking, I remember thinking like, okay, I gotta make a decision. I'm gonna go here or I'm gonna go here. And there was a good film program in Bozeman, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Bozeman. How I thought of it is, LA, there's like more people trying to, be successful and get, to know people and do things. And I thought, I could have a chance. I could probably make it. But where I was at the time, I felt like, well, I have better odds if I go somewhere where it's smaller town and meet people, influential people. And I have met a lot of people, met a lot of Hollywood people that live up here. That work in big movies, and a lot of people that have worked on films that totally changed my life.
Well, you know what I've learned about smaller cities? the likelihood of having a mayor on one of my TV shows would have been unlikely. Like
Exactly the same thing I'm talking about.
So
here,
when
yeah.
the time comes to go back to the big city, I have enough to show for. I've got Asaph Cafe and that new Lawrence Welk show and all the other stuff I've been doing.
You're already working with the
that.
big leagues when you're
Yeah,
here. It's
I
it's
just
not this
walk
like
in there and say I've got boom this.
there's no
here,
red
you know.
tape. It's just like there they are. You can walk right up to the door and go, "Hey, Mayor."
That's right.
And he's like, "Yeah." He'll give you the time of day.
That's what
He'll be
Baird
like,
did when we did that new
Yeah.
Lawrence
Well,
Welk show.
he's a nice guy, so
Yeah.
he'll say stuff, and that's how it is here in a small town. Even though it is growing
Right,
and stuff,
uh-huh.
but there's still big people that are from LA that they work part time in LA.
Yeah.
Or New York, wherever they're from, and then they call this their home. I even met Jeff
That's what
Bridges.
I would
I
probably
met
do
Jeff
too,
Bridges
yeah.
of all people. He calls this place his home, and I met him.
Yeah, that's
Got
a
to
good
shake his-
idea. Live here and then go out there and
Yeah,
work. David
that's what they
Letterman did
do.
the same thing.
He met his wife out here too, so yeah, on a movie though. But yeah.
Any last minute words? We're winding down.
Check out fastcoastproductions.com and keep an eye out for me and my class at Corvallis High School here in Montana. So Corvallis, Montana, Corvallis High School.
And I want to congratulate you on that
Thank
new
you.
job and all the other stuff. So you know where to find me if you need me. So my final words. This is season 9, episode 1. We have Christian Ackerman here, and I'm sorry I butchered your name at the beginning.
No, it's fine.
But thanks for doing this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So until our last show, Maranatha.